Super Mario World, subtitled Super Mario Bros. 4, depending on which version you're playing, for its original Japanese release, is a 1990 platform video game developed...
Fuck, are we old?
...and published by Nintendo as a pack-in launch title for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, which I didn't actually realise.
26 years ago?
Yeah, developed by Nintendo Entertainment Analysis and Development and led by our boy, Shigeru Miyamoto, who also produced the game. It also featured 2D graphics with linear transformations. The game centers around Mario and Luigi as they enter a new land, the Dinosaur Land. We take a step away from Mushroom Kingdom, as usual, to take on Bowser, who this time isn't after Princess Peach. He's after some Yoshi eggs, and we need to go and save the day. Super Mario World was a critical and commercial success, selling over 20 million copies worldwide, and is considered by many critics to be one of the best games ever made. It has been released 4 times. First as part of a combo with the... Did you ever play this? The Super Mario All-Stars for the SNES?
Yeah.
Fucking love that.
I have it here.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I can't remember if it's the version, because there is 2 versions of Super Mario All-Stars. One with World and one without.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, fair enough. Secondly, it was released on the Game Boy Advance as Super Mario Advance 2 in 2001, and outside Japan as Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 2, with some modified gameplay. The third release was for the Wii's Virtual Console in Japan 2006 and in North American Power Regions in 2007, which is a version that I bought. And then finally, it was also released, obviously,
3DS.
For the Wii U and also for the 3DS Virtual Console.
Then it's only the new 3DS, though. The SNES games are only for the new 3DS.
It's on the Wii U Virtual Console.
But it's not what I mean is, like, you can't just get it on any 3DS.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah, I know it's on the Wii U because I have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for 3DS, it's only the new 3DS. Because I was like, when it came out, I was like, ooh, I can bring Super Mario World with me. No, I can't.
Anyway.
Yes.
Now.
This is, you are steering this.
Okay.
This one. This is, you're the platforming prodigy for a reason.
I like Mario.
Do you?
Not Mario. Mario.
Mario, yeah.
Fucking Yanks. He'll get there one day.
He doesn't say, it's a me, Mario.
Yeah. Mario. Yeah. So I remember being, I want to say about 5 years old when I was introduced to video games for the first time. And I was given a Sega Master System, went away, played Alex the Kid, had a good old time. About a year later, I was given a NES. And with that, I was introduced to Mega Man, naturally, and I was introduced to the original Super Mario Bros. About a year after that, to 2 years after that, I would be introduced to the Super Nintendo. Now, I didn't have one to begin with originally. My childminder, who looks after me, she had a son, same age as me, and he had a Super Nintendo. And that's where I was introduced to A Link to the Cast, Super Tennis.
You said A Link to the Cast.
A Link to the Past, sorry. It's not the first time I've done that as well.
Oh, scenes.
A Link to the Past, Super Tennis, Goof Troop, great multiplayer game, and Super Mario World. And I've never looked back since, you know. Mega Man 2 is kind of the game people think of when it comes to me in terms of platforming, but like it needs to be said that pretty much every fucking platforming game up until the kind of, I want to say like the maybe the revolution of platforming games with like Super Meat Boy and onwards, and I Want to Be the Guy. 2D platforming games up to that point have been based off of Mario. It kind of goes without saying. And a lot of people argue over what is better, Super Mario Bros. 3 or Super Mario World. And I will always make the case for Super Mario World. Because I feel it took everything about Mario Bros. 3, which took everything about the original Super Mario. And first of all, Super Mario World still looks absolutely gorgeous to this day. You know,
It comes from that time, that SNES era. There's a lot of games that still look like Link to the Past. Unbelievable.
We said in our first episode that it has a timeless look about it.
Yeah,
Earthbound
still looks incredible. Like a lot of those kind of Super Metroid.
Yep.
A lot of games from that SNES era look unbelievably good still, and it's because we hadn't yet got to that kind of 3D polygonal space that in hindsight now, like a lot of, I love a lot of N64 PS1 era games, but dear God do they look like just a heap of shite looking back now. You know, like someone who's just starting off playing games now is like, what was going on? What was everybody doing in the 90s?
But here's the key. Here's the key difference between Mario Brothers 3 and Super Mario World. Mario Brothers 3, each level is like a tiny little chapter in a book. In Mario World, each level has its own defining character, almost like its own defining gimmick, and that has been what the Mario series has done since. Each level, each world has its own kind of character gimmick that it's trying to do. And I feel that they really went back to that with the last, the 3D Land games. They've gone back to that kind of thing. And that was first implemented, I feel, in Super Mario World. Like, I can go back now and I can pick any level on the map and I know exactly what the kind of key feature of that level is. And, like, as much as I love Mario Brothers 3, some of those levels are very short, kind of over in a minute. You can kind of speed run through them. For the most part, with Mario World, you have, like, at least a little bit more of kind of time is needed to take between, you know, platforms and enemies. And just the kind of expansion of characters, or in terms of enemies, just the whole kind of graphical fidelity. The soundtrack is incredible, like how they take that one melody and they tweak it depending on the level you're in, and so you have that familiar musical passage, but you know, depending on if you're in the caves or in the forest, you know, it's slightly tweaked. I love how they do that, and Nintendo are really good for that kind of thing. And it's just a game that you go back to, you know. It's a game I go back to every kind of 2 years or so, and I'll blitz through like a couple of hours, and it's like, it's still fucking incredible, you know?
It's still perfect. It's self-contained, It's a game where I kind of like, similar to you, I didn't have an SNES for many years, and instead of a childminder that kind of was my way into the SNES, it was my auntie, my godmother, who was kind of... It was actually because of her that I ended up buying an N64 and being the one N64 kid out of my group of friends. And I thank her incredibly for it, but because I was right and they were wrong. But anyway, the getting to play it when I was over there was kind of like... It's one of those things where, like you said, there's a debate between... Mario 3, Mario World, and then there are the people who are like the real OG gangsters who love their original Super Mario because there's a beautiful simplicity to it. For me, and this is like how this to me kind of says how important Mario World is that when someone mentions Super Mario, like the character, when someone just mentions it to me, the images in my head are Super Mario World. Sometimes they're Mario 64, because I think Mario 64 was the one that... It was my first Mario game that I owned myself and got to pore over. But when I think of like classic Mario, and I think of just the kind of... Like you said, the kind of the more than just your average platformer. It has its own gimmicks, there's memorable music, all things like that. When I think Mario, it is Super Mario World that comes to mind first and foremost. And it is one where I think of all of them, there are different arguments why most Mario games in the long running series, there are arguments as to why it's not perfect. So like Super Mario 1, like there is simplicity to it, but it's just kind of like it doesn't hold up as well as other games now. Super Mario 3, there are certainly criticisms to be made. Super Mario 64, again, it comes back to, like I talked about, the polygonal thing, where maybe it just doesn't look as great as we thought it did in 1996, whenever it came out. I think it was 96, wasn't it?
97, I think.
Sunshine, a lot of people just call Sunshine a load of bullshit in hindsight, but I like Sunshine a lot.
I like Sunshine.
Galaxy, I think, maybe one that people don't really... I think that people have tried to come at Galaxy, and I think Galaxy is almost close to perfect. And then kind of people talk about the 3D Land and stuff like that being almost kind of too gimmicky at points. But I think Mario World is the one that you would find the least amount of weak spots to, should we say. It's the one Mario game where I think about... I don't think about, fuck, I hate this part. You know, there isn't that to it.
And the thing as well about Super Mario World is it was the first time I feel And I guess to a certain degree, actually, Super Mario Bros. 2 implemented this, but only because it was a branch off of the whole story about it being Doki Doki Panic originally.
Yeah.
It became the first time where the Mario series introduced puzzle elements, almost. You know, the ghost houses, where you wasn't just going from left to right. You were sometimes having to do lateral thinking to figure out how the fuck do I get around this part. And then there was the introduction of Yoshi, which, you know, apart from being one of the most famous characters in the Mario universe, he introduced a whole new way. Is it she?
Lays eggs.
But what about Birdo?
I'm pretty sure Yoshi's supposed to be a she, and I only found that out like years later.
Or
should we use Yoshi's proper full name, T. Yoshisaur Munchakoopas, as we found out last year? When,
what gender is Yoshi?
I'm pretty sure it turned out Yoshi was a girl, and Toads were asexual until Toadette came along.
The Yoshi we all know and love is male. However, there may be other Yoshis that are female.
For some reason, maybe it's just one of those urban legend things.
Either way.
But either way, like
gender aside.
Yeah, the gender's not important. But Yoshi's kind of one of those like proper memorable characters from my childhood. Where like you go upstairs now, I have like a Yoshi amiibo, a Woolly Yoshi amiibo.
Yeah.
There's a Yoshi Teddy up there. When I play Smash Brothers, not so much Smash Brothers, but definitely when I play Mario Kart and when I play Mario Party, it's always Yoshi, and it stems from there. It's like my love Yoshi and the kind of Mario 64, the Yoshi Easter egg at the end of that game as well made me very excited.
Yeah.
You know, it is probably memorable character, and even if Jeff Gerstmann hates on Yoshi with the blinding heat of 1,000 suns, I still love Big Yoshi.
And one of the things about Yoshi as well is that introduced what I call the Yoshi jump.
Yeah, the floaty jump.
No.
Oh.
The way you run, you jump off the screen, and you can see the ledge that you need to get to, but you and Yoshi aren't getting there together.
Ah, yeah. Where you have to sacrifice what Jeff Gerstmann said was the unuseful part of Yoshi is that you jump and it falls down in the hole. You just get another one because they're disposable.
And you know where that has really become prevalent is in Mario Maker.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where, God, so many Yoshis dying for a cause. And, I mean, this can, like, be extended further into Mario Maker at some point, which I guess I never had the chance to review for myself. But when it comes to playing Mario Maker, and when it comes to creating levels for Mario Maker...
I have an idea for a feature for the site 1 year, because it's about 1 year on since Mario Maker came out.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. I always go to Mario World, you know? Like... There's some charm or there's some usage to doing the new Super Mario Brothers because you have the wall jump feature, but in terms of the sound, in terms of I don't know, there's a certain just kind of overall feel and the way that game controls, where I will always go for Mario World. And like from what I've seen a lot online or looking into levels that people have made, like Mario World seems to be the go-to, and I'm so happy as well that they have incorporated enemies and sprites and gimmicks from the other Mario games and made Mario World sprites for them. That's really cool. Like the airship from Mario Bros. 3, you know, there's a Mario World version of that.
Yeah,
really fucking cool. It's just, I don't know. I can't imagine there's many people that from our generation that haven't played this game, so I can't really make a sort of elevator sales pitch to them. But certainly for anyone that, you know, is younger that has a Wii U now or even the Wii, like there's no reason to at least kind of pop this in or buy and download it and kind of see how far we've come along, but yet how well that game still holds up for a game that's 26 years old.
Yeah.
You know?
It is as close to, I would dare to say, and this is my elevator pitch, it is as close to perfect as a 2D platformer can get without going into the crazy, almost inaccessible difficulty level of a Mega Man 2.
Yeah.
You know, it's playable. You can feel the goal of beating that game is achievable to most players if they're paying attention. Whereas like I think with Mega Man 2 for the likes of us is also right up there in terms of perfection. However,
but
is incredibly exponentially more difficult.
But there is also the challenge when you get to Star Road.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, well, that's Mario games have that. Like Mario games always have that kind of extra layer of challenge to them.
Yeah.
If you take on that challenge, but in terms of like playing most of the game, like it's accessible.
And I love things like the evolution of the Hammer Bros into the what the hell are they called? You know, the guys with like the football punters and the guys that charging chucks. You know, I love that they took kind of original concepts from the first couple of Mario games and just tweak them slightly, so it's familiar but it's also new. Yeah, it's an incredible game, you know, and I love it now as much as I did back then when I first played it. And you should probably go and play it if you never have.